Turn to page 73 in your grammar books. 73 is where we are today. Okay, we're talking about conjunctions today. That's another form of word in English grammar, and it basically means it connects words, phrases, or clauses. And in this book, they've come up with a little word. It's called an acronym, and basically each letter stands for something, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. A coordinating conjunction connects the same type of words, phrases, or clauses. The items in the coordinating conjunction connects must be grammatically the same. 2 or more nouns, 2 or more verbs, 2 or more prepositional phrases, and so forth. So whenever you use these words to connect parts of a sentence, it has to be used with the same type of words. Okay, that's what that means basically. So here is the example. He ran to the window and opened it. So ran is the verb here. He ran to the window. That's what he's doing. And then he opened it. So those are two verbs, ran and opened. So you use the word and in the middle between those two parts. And that is a coordinating conjunction. The coordinating conjunction and connects ran, the verb, and opened, the verb. Because these words are grammatically the same type of words, they're both verbs. The coordinating conjunction and does not connect window, which is a noun, and opened, which is a verb. It does not connect those two words because a noun and a verb are not grammatically the same type of words. Here's the acronym I was telling you about. Fanboys. Okay, so you got to remember when you think of coordinating conjunction, think of fanboys. Okay, to learn the 7 coordinating conjunctions. So right here, F stands for for, A and, N nor, B but, O or, Y yet, S so. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Those are the 7 coordinating conjunctions in English. That's all of them. So they came up with this handy dandy word for you to remember, fanboys, to help you remember what those words are. And then when you mark it in this book, you're going to write CC, and CC stands for coordinating conjunction above each coordinating conjunction. So that's how you label them in the book now. The guards looked around the room, but saw nothing unusual. The guards looked around the room, but saw nothing unusual. So, but, see how it's here for be, that's a coordinating conjunction. And in this sentence, it's connecting the two verbs, looked and saw. Those are both verbs, and they use but in the middle as a coordinating conjunction. And here's another example. The princess wanted the cloak, bag, and horn. And so here we have a list of 3 things, and these are all nouns that the princess wanted. She wanted a cloak, a bag, and horn. Those are all 3 nouns, and this CC is the coordinating conjunction and that is the A in fanboys right there, okay? So there are a couple of comma rules to remember. Do not use a comma before a coordinating conjunction when it connects 2 items in a series unless they are main clauses. And then you use commas to separate 3 or more items in a series. So you have here, okay, here's this pattern, A and B. If you have just 2 things listed, you don't need a comma. If you have 3 things, A, B, and C, then you use your commas after A and after B. That's the comma rule for conjunctions. If you're listing 2, no comma. If you're listing 3 or more, commas. And then down at the bottom here, it's talking about the strong verb. We've been talking a little bit about this in our writing part of class. A strong verb dresses up writing because it creates a strong image or feeling. A strong verb is an action verb, never a linking or helping verb. Look for the strong verbs in this book and write them on the strong verb collection page, Appendix 2. That's optional. If you want to make a list as you're coming across some good strong verbs, you can at the back of the book. There's a place on Appendix 2 in the back. You can make a list. And I like to use the example, the sentence, the dog ran after the cat. The verb in that sentence, the dog ran after the cat, ran is a verb, right? It's what the dog is doing. But it's not necessarily a strong verb, because if I said the dog chased after the cat, now you have a little bit more of an image in your head about maybe it's turning corners and jumping over bushes and, you know, right on its tail, trying to catch that cat, right? Gives the reader a little bit more of an image. So those are the type of words that we're going to start talking about in the writing part of class. But to start, we're going to find them here in the grammar book. So strong verbs, that's what that means. Gives you an image or a picture inside your head. All right, any questions about this page? If not, you can just shake your head now. Okay. Let's go to page 75, which is the practice page. And I'm going to start with Harmony. Could you read the sentence for us, please?
The soldier knew that he needed to escape, but he forgot that he was wearing a magic cloak.
Nice, very good, Harmony. So our vocabulary today is escape, and I'm sure you girls know what that means. That is get away from danger, right? If you know that there's danger nearby and you want to escape and get out of there, it's basically leaving or getting away from danger. Okay, that's vocabulary, so let's put a check there. Articles, you know what to write in. Go ahead and write these in. Don't forget that it's an, not and. Don't put a D there, it's just A-N. And there's 2 of them, so I'm going to let you girls just find them by yourself and go ahead and label them AR. Oh, but let's see. Yep, here it is. Never mind. The and A. Okay, Valentina, help us find 2 nouns.
Season is
Soldier.
Good,
And what else? Cloak.
good.
Each season is chosen.
Those are the 2. How about Harmony? How about 3 pronouns? Remember, those are the words in place of a noun, like he or she, words like that.
Can you tell her what 3 are there? There's
He,
He, good. There's 1.
keep going. What's next? Tell her she can't see it.
he,
Good. Another he. And
One,
another
He.
he. Yes, good. There you go. He, and he. That's right. All of those are pronouns. PR for pronouns. Valentina, how about an adjective? That's a word that describes a noun.
Apples. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Very.
Describe. So
Yeah, like
magic.
Yes, there you go. Because magic is telling what kind of cloak, right? It's describing the cloak. So that is the adjective. Good job. All right. And then right here, coordinating conjunction, I want you girls to just write in fanboys. You can do them in all caps here. Fanboys. And then I also want you to write it on the side here, going down. Fanboys. Go ahead and write fanboys on the side too. So right next to where it says coordinating conjunction, you can write fanboys. And then write it going down on the side here. And then you can probably guess what I'm gonna have you do next. I want you to fill in what these words are. Do you remember what the F stands for? You can look back on the page before if you need to.
And
The F first. Go ahead, Valentina.
nor.
For.
For, good. How about A? You girls can just take turns. How about Harmony? What does the A stand for?
Gosh, what about the A? What word is it for? It's for.
And
Good. And
Valentina?
N,
And then for N, nor.
nor. And then Harmony B,
but
good. And then Valentina O.
Oh, actually, I'm supposed to read.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That was
forgot what is for. Oh, okay. Or.
There you go. Or. And then Harmony Y.
yet.
Good. Valentina, the last one, S.
I'm filled up.
At.
Come on, mine.
I need to see.
S. I forgot about that one. Let me see.
Okay, you can look back on the page.
So.
There you go. So for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And let's see, Harmony, which one of those do we have in our sentence?
But he
Good.
forgot.
Yeah, where does it go?
Yeah, just the word but. That's right, though. And we're gonna put CC on top of that. That stands for coordinating conjunction there. Good job, guys. And then the next one is that clause. There's two of them. So Valentina, where are the that clauses? Do you remember?
There is one right after new.
Okay, so what is the whole clause though? That,
And then it ends at.
7.
Okay, so the whole clause that he needed to escape.
correct, good. So go ahead and put that in parentheses, and then we're gonna write the word that on top of that. I know it seems redundant, but that's okay. We're labeling that. And then what's the other one, Valentina?
The other is after forgot there's that,
Okay,
and it goes that all the way to cloak.
good. That he was wearing a magic cloak. Good. Oh yeah, we need to write that on top of that one.
5, 6, 7,
Okay, almost done here. So now we need to look for subject verb pairs, and I always start with the verbs. It's a lot easier that way. So Harmony, think about action words and verbs. Where are the verbs in this sentence?
I forgot where I
Yeah.
Do, good.
There's 6.
What else?
6, 7, 8,
Okay.
9,
Which one was it?
She's saying soldier is the subject.
Oh, she's going on to that. Okay,
Needed.
She doesn't, it's a group.
that's
Okay.
okay. We can mark that. Soldier goes with new. You're right about that. So the soldier knew. What's
Needed.
another verb?
Needed.
Needed, good.
Mhm.
Does she like to do the
And
subject?
then what's
next?
is it? What's the subject? Tell them.
He
Okay, good. Yes. So the subject for needed is he needed. And then what else? There's more verbs. There's a lot of them.
forgot.
Good. Yes.
Forgot.
And then who's the subject for that?
He
Good.
Last one.
Okay. Two more verbs.
what?
Okay, good.
Did she
Was
say
what?
was?
He
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Was what? Was
wearing.
good.
Good.
This one's making
And the
me sick.
subject?
Subject is
It's pizza.
Subject.
is
He
good.
Good. You
Nice.
got it. Nice job. Okay, that was a lot of subject verb pairs in there. Capital, you probably already figured that out. That's the first letter of the sentence. I'm gonna put my lines there. End mark is a period again, but Valentina, what about the homophone? So we have one word here that's misspelled. Do you know which one it is?
Let me see. So the soldier knew he needed.
10.
I'm not finding it.
13.
Okay, it's a homophone, so it's one of those words that sounds the same but is spelled different, and the word is to. So the way this is written with two O's means like also, right? Or too much of something. But this should just be a regular to escape. So how should we spell to?
T
Uh-huh.
W O.
Now
Wait, no.
that's the
Sorry.
number two.
T O.
There you go. You got it. TWO is the number two, but that still spells two. But TO is what I'm looking for. That's it. Good job. So go ahead and don't forget to indent. See how it's already indented right here? So when you start writing, make sure you go in a little bit. And then you can write the sentence. I'll wait for you guys. Okay, let me know when you girls are done.
Done.
Okay. Okay, good. I see that. I wanted to explain one more thing really quick, because
What's it?
that word escape could be a verb, but we didn't label it as a verb in this sentence. Sometimes it can be listed as an action in the sentence, but the verb is needed, and it's needed to escape. Since there's this infinitive right here, to escape
This.
makes it not a verb. So I just wanted to explain that a little bit in case you were wondering if that was actually a verb right there. So it's called an infinitive, and we'll be learning more about that in our grammar class later.
Yes.
Okay, so we're done with grammar. You can put that away for a minute and go ahead and get out your homework from this week, which was Midas. King Midas, you guys, we worked on the story sequence chart in class last week, and then you wrote your first paragraph for King Midas. Give me a thumbs up if you got your paragraph finished. Okay, good. I see yours, Valentina. Harmony, did you write your paragraph for King Midas? Okay, I see your thumbs up. Good. So before we move on, would either one of you like to share your paragraph with us? You can read it to us. You guys want to read your paragraph? Okay, Valentina. So before you read it, though, I have to ask you, did you remember to put an ly adverb in your paragraph?
Let me see.
Okay. So you should have it underlined too, if you have one. You did?
I do.
Okay, good. And did you underline it?
No, let me underline it.
Go ahead and underline that. That's important. And then did you remember to put a who or which clause in your paragraph?
I think so. I said I said whom, but not who.
Whom will work. That's part of a who or which clause. So go ahead and underline whom too. So
Okay.
that's good. You got those two things. That's what I was looking.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, you can read your paragraph to us.
There once lived a man named King Midas, whom was greedy. He was a very wealthy man with jewelry made of gold, but he was unhappy due to the lack of gold he had. He wanted more. One day at the steps of his castle door, there was an oddly looking man. The man asked King Midas for a wish of his choice, only one.
Nice. Very good. So jazz hands for Valentina. Good job, Harmony. Okay, so I do have to comment on whom. It actually would fit better in the way that you wrote that sentence to just put who. So go ahead and just cross out, you don't have to scribble, just do a little line through the M. And then that will, so I think you said who was greedy is how you said it. Yeah, so that was good. I like how you use that. And then I did hear oddly, which was probably your ly adverb. So very good. I love it. So Harmony, do you want to read your paragraph too? Yes. Okay. First of all, did you remember to put an ly adverb in your paragraph?
Yes.
Good. And how about a who or which clause?
Yes.
Get that too? Awesome. Okay. Let's hear it whenever you're ready.
There was once a King Midas who was very greedy. He was wealthy and had lots of jewelry and gold. Oddly, he was unhappy and wanted more gold. A mysterious stranger gave King Midas one wish.
Good. Yes. Jazz hands for Harmony. Very good. I love it. You used the same ly word, the oddly. That was perfect. And then I think you used who the same way too. That's awesome. You both did great with that. Good job. All right. So now let's look at our story sequence chart. We worked on that last week. It looks like this. And I think that's where we left off. Is that what you guys have too? Okay, good, Harmony. I see that thumbs up. Okay, so now I think I remember talking to you about how there's a natural order to these types of stories. When you're talking about a narrative like this, or a made-up story, or a movie or a book, we always start with the characters and the setting, because that's how you get into the story, right? It would be weird if you started in the middle of the story. It would be a little confusing. So to start by talking about the characters like you guys both did, you talked about King Midas and you gave a little background about him, what he's like, answering these questions here. We haven't really got into where or when yet, but we will get into that. And that's okay if it comes up later. But in the middle, right here, there's another thing that comes into the story after you introduce the characters and the setting. Then we talk about the conflict and the problem. So for this box right here, I want you to write that word conflict / problem. I think if I remember right, we talked a little bit about Kung Fu Panda last week. Have you both have, I think you both have seen that one. So in that story, we start out learning about all the characters in the movie with all the different Kung Fu characters, tigress, praying mantis, there's a monkey, there's a snake, all the different characters of the Kung Fu group, right? We, of course, know about Po. That's the main character, the panda. But then remember, in the middle of the movie, once we get to know all the characters and stuff, there's a conflict that happens. There's a problem. You remember the big, I think he's like I want to say he's like a bull or some kind of a big, mean guy with horns, and he's got a big nose like a bull.
Rhinoceros.
What's his name?
Rhinoceros.
Oh, it was a rhinoceros. Okay. Yes, a rhinoceros. And he was the bad guy, right, Harmony? He's the bad guy. Okay, and he's wanting to destroy the city that Poe lives in. So now that's the problem. He comes in and he's mean and he starts destroying stuff and he's changing things. And so Poe has to fight this guy. Remember that? Because if nobody stops this rhinoceros, then he's going to take over. So somebody has to stop him. So that's the conflict and the problem of that story. How about in this one for King Midas? What was King Midas's problem in this story? Do you remember, Valentina?
Was
Well, his
greedy.
problem. Well, he
Oh.
had like two problems. Well, one of them was a problem to himself, and then so one of the problems was that his daughter turned into gold,
That's true. That was a little bit later. Uh-huh.
and two is that all he touched was gold, and like that was also a problem because then it just became bad news.
Yes.
And I have one more to add. He didn't have enough gold.
Yes. And that I think I heard Harmony say greedy. Is that what you said, Harmony? Yeah. So being greedy was also a problem because it was kind of getting the best of him. He just wanted gold. He wasn't thinking about his daughter or anything like the food or his bed or anything that he already had that was nice. He wanted everything to become gold. So you're right. That is the conflict and problem in the story, that King Midas story. In this section right here, you're going to be answering the question, what? So go ahead and write what in that box on the left side of that box there. And then I'm going to have you write a few more words here. And you're going to have to write kind of small. So sorry if you naturally write large, you're going to have to kind of squeeze it in here. What do they want or need? I'm going to write this and I'll give you time to catch up, okay? Think, say, do. And I'm just going to draw a line from each one of these words up to the word what here. So we have, what does the character want or need? Think, say, do. Those are the things you're going to focus on in the middle paragraph of your story. And it includes the conflict and the problem. So all of the ideas that you shared with me are correct. He kind of had a lot of problems getting into this story. But I think the first one was after that mysterious stranger came and offered him one wish, he made a wish. And I think that was the first step into the problems that he started to have, right? So I'll give you a second to finish writing that. Okay, so Harmony, what was his wish? What did he say? What was his wish?
If you touch and turn to gold.
Yes, everything you touched turned to gold. So I'm going to put quotation marks here because it is what he said. And I'm going to put everything, comma, touch, comma, gold. Remember, our outline is the only 3 words. We can use numbers and symbols and abbreviations if we need to for free. But we want to keep to the same rule that we can only have 3 words per line. So we're getting into like right before this, right? Mysterious stranger, one wish. And then here is where we bring in the wish. This is what he wished for. Everything, touch, gold. All right. And you can look back at the original story because I know it was last week when we read this. So it's okay with me if you need to look back on the original story. But Valentina, what are the first things when he first got his wish? What was it that turned to gold first? And you can look back on the story. It's okay. It's on page 49. Because I know it was last week when we read it, so you might forget.
Okay, a table,
a table, a
a
chair,
chair, the rug, and his bed.
the rug, and his bed. Okay. And at first, do you think he liked that at first?
Yes.
I think so too. So let's put table, and then I'm going to put a happy face because he was happy about the table turning to gold. I mean, he liked that. And then you said chair is next. So chair. I'm going to put another happy face next to chair because he was happy about that one. And we only can do one more word. So what do you think, Valentina? Should we put rug or bed? Which one do you think we should put?
I think bed.
Bed. And it doesn't say if he was happy about that, but I kind of wonder if he was like, uh-oh, it's not going to be as comfy anymore, right?
Yeah. We could do like a meh face.
I was wondering about like a straight face, like
Yeah.
no, you could put a mad face if you want.
No,
but
I
I
just
don't-
want to try to recreate the expression.
Oh yeah. I know he was happy about the table and chair, but then his bed, he's like, it's pretty. I think he probably thought it was pretty, but when it was nighttime and he was ready to lay down, it probably, I can imagine it did not feel good laying down on that. Okay, so Harmony, after that, some other things started to change into gold. What else changed into gold, Harmony?
Fla- flower,
Flowers. What else turned into gold?
daughter,
Yes, his daughter. And I think it says his food turned into
Food.
gold. Yeah. So what do you think, Harmony? Did he like that his food turned into gold, do you think?
No, like that.
no, I don't like that.
No, because you can't eat gold, right? It's like a metal. It's hard, and you can't bite into that. You would break your teeth, really. So let's put flowers. That was the next thing. So we'll put flowers, and this time I'm going to put a sad face. He said flowers lost their color and smell. So I think he was feeling sad about that. And food. And I don't think he was happy about that either, because you can't eat the food. And now we're getting into the problem and the conflict, right? When he's unhappy, that's his problem. He's unhappy about the flowers. He's unhappy about the food. I'm just going to leave that one with 2 words, because the next one on number 3, we really need to talk about the daughter, because that was the worst of all, right? He was sad about the flowers and the food and the bed, but when his daughter turned into gold, that was the worst. So I think we better talk about that next. What did he say, Valentina, when he saw his daughter turn into a statue? You can look back on the story. What did he say? Or what's the expression in the story? Oh, you're still on mute if you're saying it.
I was talking. I didn't know I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
But so he seemed like he was like really like sad and like mad at himself. So it was, like,
Yeah.
mixed feelings. So yeah, he was like mad at himself for doing it, but he was like sad that his daughter turned to gold.
I'm gonna say that he cried. No.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah. He said, oh no, I think, but we can just put, he cried, no, not my daughter. So that's his problem. These are all the things that he wanted. He wanted everything to be gold. He was thinking it would be nice that everything was gold. And then he started wishing for these things. And then his daughter turned to gold. And that was the worst, like I said. So go ahead and finish writing. Daughter cried no. And it wasn't the daughter that cried no, it was King Midas that cried no when he saw his daughter turn into gold. He's like, no, I take it back. I don't want that anymore. Okay, we have one more box here. So now you can see a little bit of a pattern, right? We start with the characters and setting. We move into the conflict and the problem. And now, what do you think is going to be in this box? What do you think happens after the problem? What do you think, Valentina?
Resolving the problem.
Correct. Very good. So it's resolution or resolving. There's another word called climax. Have you ever heard of the word climax before?
No.
Okay. So go ahead and write it, and then I'll tell you what it means. Climax / resolution. Climax / resolution. Okay. Think back again on Kung Fu Panda. And I can't remember the bad guy's name, but okay, so he's a rhinoceros, I guess. And he's the bad guy. And remember when they get to the epic battle and nobody can defeat this guy. And then it's up to Po to figure out how to defeat him. And then there's that scene where the guy is like punching Po, and then Po's like flying across the land and then he tumbles and falls. And he's like totally getting beat up. You remember that part of the movie?
Yes.
That is the climax. I always like to think of like pyramid, and it's at the top. So it could be like, does Po die or does he defeat the guy? Is he going to get hurt or is he going to win? Are they going to save? Is he going to save the town, or is he going to be defeated and everybody's going to be sad and, you know, mad and all that? So it's that point of the story where it could go either way. You don't know. Well, we know the story because he does. Remember how he does I think it's called a wushu pinky something. And
No.
he skadoosh. Remember that? And then it's like everything just like stops, right? And then he defeats the guy. And so we know it has a good ending because he won. But that climax is that part of the story where, oh, is it going to be okay? Like in this story, is the daughter going to be gold forever? How sad. The dad's going to be so sad. And is he going to be able to get her back? And we don't know if she's gone forever. It's that climax. Okay. And then the resolution, that means, and I'm just going to have you write how solved. And that's when we're talking about the problem. How is it solved? So now we got to go into explaining that for Roman numeral 3, which is the third paragraph. All right, so let me ask Harmony, how does King Midas feel after, because right here we left off with the daughter turns into gold and he says, no. So how does King Midas feel about his daughter turning to gold?
Sad.
Yep, he's sad. Harmony, what do you think? I think he feels, how does he feel about that?
How about that?
Horrible.
Horrible. Yes, I totally agree with that. He feels horrible. And there's a word, I want you to look back on the story. Right here on the story. See that, Harmony? Do you know what that word is?
Regretted.
Regretted. Do you know what that means, Harmony? To regret something?
Regretted.
You know what that means?
Do you know what it
regret
means?
something?
Yes.
What does it mean? You know what it means?
Regretted.
To wish you hadn't done something.
To wish have done something.
You hadn't done something.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Because he wished he could take it back. He wished he never made that wish before, right? So he had, I'm going to say that word horrible. He felt horrible. Oops, I spelled that wrong. Horrible. That's HORRIBLE. and then regret. And there's one more word. I'm gonna see if Harmony knows this one too. I'll find the word here. Ah, here it is at the very, very bottom of page 49, right here. It starts with an R again. You know this word, Harmony?
Read it.
Repented.
Good, repented. So that means he said to himself, I'm never going to do that again. That's what that means, to repent, to realize he did a bad thing, and then to promise he won't ever do it again. That's what it means to repent. So let's put repent on here too. Those are good words to include, because that's talking about King Midas. He felt horrible. He regretted his wish and he repented. He said, I'm never going to do that again.
It's ready.
So Valentina, what happened? Who came back on the scene after that? After he realized, oh my gosh, my daughter, I don't want to ever do this again. I feel so bad. Then what happened?
So like the strange man that granted his wish. I don't know his name because they didn't give him a name.
Yeah, they didn't give him
Like-
a name.
So that strange man that like granted his wish.
Yeah. He came back, and then what did he say?
He said he gave him one more chance and then he can redo his wish.
Okay, good. So earlier we called him a mysterious stranger. Should we keep that same so we know who we're talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's put mysterious stranger. And what did he say to do?
So that he could redo his wish.
Not redo his wish.
No, undo it.
Yeah. And what did he have to do to undo it?
He had to go into like the sacred river and wash his hands in the water
Yes.
to keep everything from like turning to gold.
Yes. So I'm going to put the word wash. And I put a little colon right there. So the mysterious stranger, and then I put the word wash. That's what he said to do. This is how the problem is now getting resolved. Okay. We're talking about the resolution here, how it's going to be resolved. And then Harmony, do you know the name of the river? We should probably put that on the next one. Like, what was the name of the river? It's on the back of the story.
Can I get Lucy?
River Pactolus.
Good. River Pactolus. Yes. And Harmony, what happened when he put his hands in the river? What happened? I'll wait till you finish writing that.
River.
With hands. So
River.
God.
Pactolus.
what happened? Look. Look what happened. Look, what did he do?
He saw gold light
Mm,
flowing from his hands.
good. So the gold came off, like there was gold light that came off of his hands. So let's put gold. And then
Writing again.
what if we did like a little squiggly line with an arrow, like the gold came off of him, right? The gold light came off of his hands. That could be a little symbol for that. Like it just kind of went ooh, like off of his hands in the water. And then when he got back home, Valentina, when he returned home, what did he discover?
He discovered that everything and the daughter turned back to normal. So nothing that he touched during that timeline that he touched is like all gone. It's all normal again.
Yes, normal. Good. So we'll put normal. And then King Midas, how did he feel, Valentina, at that point? Remember, he kind of changed his ways. He wasn't greedy anymore. What did he turn into? What did he
Turned
feel?
into like more of like a caring man. Like he was less greedy. And
Less
he cared more
greedy.
about like the people around him and started getting grateful for what he had, like his daughter.
Grateful. That's a good word. And then there was this word too. Can you see it?
Generous.
Generous. Yes. So let's put grateful and generous. Okay, so that is basically how you do these story sequence charts. Now you want to keep with the same story because it has a sequence of events there. And so it helps when you're filling these out to go back to the story and look at those details.
so?
And it would have to be in order, right? Because you wouldn't want to start with King Midas repented, because that would be confusing if you started with this up here. So you want to make sure as you're making these types of outlines, it flows with the natural sequence of the story. So we got it now. We got the characters and setting, which is mostly King Midas and the stranger. And the daughter's there too, but she kind of comes in later. And then the conflict and the problem is in the middle, where everything he touched turned to gold, and then how it was resolved at the end. Now, in this story, we didn't talk much about where he was. And that's something you can add when you go to write your paragraphs later. This time it's kind of a short story. But you could have said something like he was in his castle, somewhere in the forest, or you can make that part up. It doesn't really talk about it in the original story. It says he was in his home. So, and we didn't exactly need that here. We mostly focused on the character, which was King Midas, and then this mysterious stranger. So good, this is done now. This is your completed story sequence chart. And I want you to look really quick at the checklist one more time. That is on page 51. Just a little reminder here about your checklist. Let me make this easier to read. Okay. And you can put your name here. I don't know if you already have, but go ahead and put your name, and then the source text is King Midas. You can write that in there. And this part in the top, we've gone through this already before. Name and date, upper left-hand corner. Both of you girls are excellent at remembering that. So is Kylie. And then it says composition double spaced. You both are excellent at that too. That's when you skip every other line. Now, this time, because you're going to finish writing the story about King Midas, you're going to come up with a new title. And the title rule is right here in your checklist. It says title centered. That just means in the middle of your page, and repeats 1 to 3 key words from final sentence. We talked about that a few weeks ago. So when you get ready to come up with a title, and it could be something catchy like The Golden Touch or something like that. It could be The Golden Touch is your title. And if you name it that, you have to make sure that your keywords 1 to 3, so you need to have at least golden or touch in your last sentence of your third paragraph. I'm talking about like at the very, very end of your story. You got to tie in the words, at least one of them, in your title from your last sentence. So don't forget that rule. By the way, do you girls have any other ideas of a title that you want to put for your story? You have any other ideas?
Not quite yet. Once I finish, I think I will, because
Yeah.
are we finished with our first paragraph? I wasn't sure yet because we have this.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you get done, and that's fine, be thinking of it as you're writing it. When you get to the very end, it'll probably hit you like, oh, that'll be a good title. I'll use that. Do you have any ideas of a title yet, Harmony?
Normal is great.
Normal is great.
Oh, that's a good one. I like it. That's a good one. So you would need either normal or great in your last sentence when you get to that part. So I like that. These are going to be good. I'm excited to read these. Okay. The next box says story follows sequence chart. That just basically means make sure you follow this order of how we wrote this chart. And then each paragraph contains at least 4 sentences. And remember, this is a sentence for Roman numeral 1. And then you have 3 underneath it. So together that makes 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you follow this for each paragraph, you'll have 4 sentences for your first paragraph and 4 sentences for your second paragraph and 4 sentences for your third paragraph. If you follow that order. So that'll work for that. Don't worry about this one. You don't have to keep the checklist on top and all that. That's for when we're in person. But right here, we still have ly adverb and who, which clause. So in your second paragraph and your third paragraph, you need to have at least one ly adverb and at least one who, which clause. And all you have to underline is the ly word and who or which. Okay, and then down here, capitalization, end marks, and all that stuff. You girls know about that. So your homework is to finish writing your second and third paragraph. So you're going to finish both of these paragraphs. You're going to add to the one that you already did for homework this week. Okay, so you're going to add to that. Go down a line or skip a line, indent, right, for a paragraph. And then you're going to go into Roman numeral 2 right here. And then, of course, your grammar pages are the other part. That's the other part of your homework. Did we talk about an ly adverb list? I think we did this last week. Do you guys have this list right here? Oh, good. I see a thumbs up. Good. So you can use that to help you with your ly words as you're doing paragraph 2 and paragraph 3. See, we got a couple minutes. Have I talked to you? I can't remember because I forgot to write it down. Did we talk about how to capitalize a title of a story? Have we talked about that yet? No, I see a thumbs down. Do you remember that, Harmony? If we talked, okay, thumbs down. Okay, let's do that really quick before you go. We just have a couple minutes left. So go ahead and get out a clean piece of lined paper. And you know what to do. We're going to go ahead and put your name at the top left. We're going to take some notes here. So your name goes here. Today's date is April 18th. And we're going to call this capitalizing a title. Because there are a couple rules about that, how to capitalize a title of a story. I know we just have really 1 more minute, so we're not going to get through all of the rules on this, but that's okay. I'll make a note that we need to finish this up next week. Okay, so skip a line, and over here, I just want you to write number 1 and write always capitalize, and then we're going to put a little colon. First and last words. So if you have the title, The Golden Touch, the would be a capital T because it's the first word. And then touch would be capitalized because it's the last word. What if you have a title like, remember back when we did The Bald Man and the Fly? That was a longer title, The Bald Man and the Fly. The is the first word, so it would be capital. But then there's other words that some of them are and some of them aren't. We're going to talk more about the rules next week. But the bald man and the fly is the last word, so that's always going to be capital too. So that's one rule. Always capitalize the first and last words. And I'm going to stop there and we'll come back to this page and talk about a couple more rules about capitalizing, because there's other things in the middle of a title sometimes. And we got to know, what do we capitalize and what do we don't capitalize? So when you're doing your title, I'm not worried about it yet. So you just put it how you think it goes. And then we'll learn more about how to capitalize titles. Okay. So that's it for today. You girls did awesome. And I will see you next week. Have a good one, you guys.
Goodbye.
See you later. Good job, girls. Both of you did awesome. Bye, Harmony.